Streaming live now on News8000.com. You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now, this weekend.
Good evening, and thank you for watching News 8 Now this weekend. I'm Michael Germain. 2 people were killed and several others wounded following a shooting in Minneapolis early this morning. Police say officers were called to a scene for a report of a fight. The officers say the gunshots rang out as they were breaking up the fight. A total of 5 people were shot. The victims were taken to the hospital where 2 men later died. Police say the other 3 victims suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Police say 1 person was taken into custody and will be booked for probable cause riot. A Minneapolis man is now facing charges in connection to the shooting death of a man from Iowa who police say was, quote, targeted and executed. The shooting happened early Tuesday, where police say the 32-year-old victim was found unresponsive behind an apartment complex in St. Paul. Police say he died at the scene, and it appeared that he was shot several times. According to the charging documents, police say surveillance video allegedly shows a vehicle driving in the area for about 20 minutes before the shooting. Police say the car was registered to the suspect's girlfriend. Police say they found a handgun that matched one of the casings at the scene of the killing in the apartment where they arrested the suspect. The suspect is facing 2 counts of second-degree murder, and he remains in custody.
It was an active Saturday out there. We got tons of rainfall, tons of severe weather reports, a lot of hail out there too. So if you have any pictures, make sure to send it our way. We can do a lot with those kind of reports, but here's our rainfall amounts. This is just radar indicated, so we'll be able to get more official ratings to you tomorrow, but just an idea for what we saw today. Areas south of La Crosse, some places seeing over 2 inches of rainfall today. Lots of rain out there, and it was a wet one, but with stuff like this, we still get to see cool formations like this. This was sent in from Gene over near Warrens, Wisconsin. This was the front edge of a storm, and those clouds kind of in the foreground that kind of look like they have holes in them, that's actually a very new cloud type that got named officially in 2015. It's the newest cloud type since 1951, and the formation of them are somewhat unknown, but the theory is that it's just from that turbulent mixing with thunderstorms. That was a fun fact. Now, speaking of clouds, we're going to have a lot of them tomorrow. It's going to be mostly cloudy going through the morning, and then into the evening we could see them let up a little bit. Otherwise, it's going to make a big impact on our temperatures, feeling much cooler tomorrow, getting into the upper 60s. So we still have that chance for a couple showers going into early Sunday, and then again, we're going to have a much cooler start to the week, just in time for the first day of fall, and then we could see a little bit of a warm-up going into the later portions of the week, but it won't be too drastic. Definitely not anything like we saw this last week. Still going to be a little bit like fall.
Sweet. Sounds like a plan. Nicole, thank you. Today, the Freedom Honor Flight is helping show appreciation to veterans who served in World War II, the Korean War, and the Vietnam War. These veterans were flown to Washington, D.C. to see the memorials built in their honor. Several activities are planned for their visit to Washington, including a visit to the World War II Memorial, the Korean War Veterans Memorial, and the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. There will be a ceremony to welcome back the veterans back home, along with UWL's Screaming Eagles Marching Band. The band's director says this is an event to bring students closer to history.
For our students, to bridge the gap and give them a taste of history as much as we can through this event, and help them to better relate to some of our history that happened long before they were born. So I think it's just important to give them that connection.
On the flight, there was 1 World War II veteran, 7 Korean War veterans, and 92 veterans from the Vietnam War. Today, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is giving the public the chance to understand how the lock and dam systems work. The Corps of Engineers hosted its annual open house at Lock and Dam 7 in La Crescent to educate the community on water safety and its dam program. The lock and dam plays a crucial role in ensuring the safe navigation of the Mississippi River for waterborne transportation. An operator says the event offers an inside look into how their systems work.
They always ask how the lock works, and then we kind of tell them how it really works, and they're kind of surprised because the technology hasn't really changed.
Attendees had the opportunity to see how boats are used on the river, learn about the importance of life jackets, and participate in water safety activities. This year's Miss Oktoberfest has been announced. Kate Dunham has been crowned as the 2024 Miss Oktoberfest. She holds the position of Volunteer Services and Auxiliary Coordinator at Mayo Clinic Health System. She actively participates in several organizations, including the La Crosse Valley View Rotary Club, La Crescent Catholic Church, and Cooley Region RSVP. Dunham says Oktoberfest is a special time to unite family and friends.
I love how Oktoberfest is such a celebration. It is a very special feeling one time of year. It brings together families and friends from both near and far. And it's an opportunity for people to volunteer and to just celebrate our community.
This year's theme is Share Your Gifts. If you know someone you want to nominate as Mrs. Oktoberfest next year, you can do so on the Oktoberfest website. A new clue is revealed for the Oktoberfest medallion hunt. Clue number 6 is early white settlers saw them out on the prairies. Named the area for the game played by the indigenous Townees. Those natives gave many of the region's landmarks their name. Though switched to English, they remain their claim to fame. Each day, a clue will be posted on the Oktoberfest USA Instagram and Facebook page at 6:30 a.m. 10 clues have been prepared and will be shared until the medallion is found. The 4-day event known as Applefest kicked off Thursday in La Crescent. Founded in 1949, Applefest was created to showcase everything La Crescent has to offer, including its apple industry and orchards. There's plenty of fun for the entire family this weekend. Today highlighted many fun things. It highlighted an apple orchard tour and the 5K race. The Applefest president says that this year's festivities include some exciting changes.
So this year we were unavailable or unable to secure a carnival. So we have a kickball tournament that we're doing. We got inflatables and we're gonna have a ninja course tomorrow. So that should be fun.
Officials expect thousands of people to attend Applefest this year. If you haven't had the chance to join in on the fun yet, it's not too late. Sunday will be the final day to experience all the festivities. The La Crosse community is coming together to raise awareness for Alzheimer's disease through an event known as the Walk to End Alzheimer's. Participants gathered at Riverside Park to take part in a 1.25-mile loop through downtown La Crosse. Every dollar raised will support the Alzheimer's Association in its vital care and research initiatives, making a significant impact in the fight against this disease.
Showing support for the families and caregivers, because oftentimes this is a terrifying disease and they battle it alone and in the dark. And this day is a day that they realize that they're not fighting alone.
325 people participated in the walk, consisting of 53 teams. Their goal is to raise $130,000, but have only raised $99,605 so far. There are just 45 days until the presidential race. After the break, we'll tell you everything you need to know as the race continues to tighten. That's up next.
Chart your career with a fabricator position at Chart Industries. Starting wage up to $30 per hour with no experience necessary. Excellent pay and awesome benefits. Apply now at jobs.chartindustries.com.
Gas, groceries, school supplies, everything costs more. Eggs are almost twice as much as they were 4 years ago. Biden, Harris, and the Democrats keep telling us things are better. They aren't better. And Tammy Baldwin is making it worse. Raising taxes, running up debt, voting for spending that's driving inflation. 25 years in Washington and she's done nothing. It's time for a change.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
Thousands of our heroes face the difficult choice between keeping their heat and power on or facing homelessness. 21,000 Wisconsin veterans are living below the poverty line. Wisconsin loses 3 veterans to suicide every week. Together, our mission is to provide all struggling Wisconsin veterans with a critical survival safety net. You can make a real difference by providing a donation to the Wisconsin Heat and Housing for Heroes initiative.
Chart your career with a fabricator position at Chart Industries. Starting wage up to $30 per hour with no experience necessary. Excellent pay and awesome benefits. Apply now at jobs.chartindustries.com.
What is a hero? Not the kind from comic books and movies saving the day. We're talking about everyday heroes, those with a special kind of courage or ability, those saving the day, one person at a time. News 8 Now wants to find those heroes and thank them for bettering our community. Go to news8000.com, click on Features, then Hometown Heroes to nominate someone you feel is truly a hometown hero.
With 45 days until the election, the presidential race is heating up. The 45th president trying to come back as the 47th. Donald Trump's opponent, Vice President Kamala Harris, aiming to make history as the first female president ever. Meanwhile, there's a new scandal exploding in North Carolina's race for governor, as well as legal and legislative fights in other states about ballot access and election day vote tally procedures. Reed Binion reports.
The reality is, nobody truly knows what's going on here. This is an allegation that's being reported.
Republicans reacting to this week's report about North Carolina GOP gubernatorial nominee Mark Robinson's alleged inflammatory comments on a porn website message board before he entered politics more than a decade ago. Robinson, North Carolina's current lieutenant governor, allegedly referred to himself as a black Nazi, expressed support for reinstating slavery, and made graphic sexual comments. He denies making the comments. Minnesota Governor and Democratic Vice Presidential nominee Tim Walz referenced the scandal Saturday.
We got folks running as Republicans for governor that are proud to refer themselves as Nazis.
The scandal in North Carolina comes as former President Trump visits the battleground state Saturday, a day after his rival, Vice President Kamala Harris, hit the battleground states of Wisconsin and Georgia, where she focused heavily on reproductive rights.
1 in 3 women in America lives in a state with a Trump abortion ban.
Also in Georgia Friday, Donald Trump's allies on the state's election board passed a rule that critics say could delay the results of the presidential race. It requires a hand count of all ballots after polls close on election night. The office of Georgia's Republican Attorney General previously warned the move is likely unlawful. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Also Friday in Arizona, the state Supreme Court ruled that nearly 100,000 residents who may not have fulfilled the state's proof of citizenship requirements can still vote in state and local races this year. Coming up on News 8, whooping cough cases continue to rise across the United States.
Tomorrow's going to be the first day of fall, and it's definitely going to feel like it. I'll have your full forecast coming up right after the break.
Are you thinking about new windows and doors? A new bathroom, a new kitchen, maybe a sunroom, siding, or a deck? Get started today with special savings while we celebrate serving homeowners for over 35 years. While we celebrate Danielle becoming the new general manager.
And celebrate Dad's 80th birthday.
Best products.
The best people.
Best prices.
35th anniversary at the board store.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
This ad is a complete lie. The truth is, Tammy Baldwin's never shared inside information with her partner. And Tammy Baldwin's leading the fight to ban senators from purchasing any individual stocks. It's Eric Hovde, who owns a $3 billion California bank. And Hovde's bank takes millions from unknown foreign interests, meaning we'd have no idea who Eric Hovde would really be working for. Eric Hovde, what's wrong with this guy?
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Everything is getting smarter. Good thing your Touchstone Energy Cooperative has the knowledge and expertise to help you make smarter work harder. Today, there are more ways than ever to make your world more energy efficient, and we can show you how. Take the next step to go electric and put the power of your co-op to work for you. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, your source for power and information.
Scouting has helped them build confidence through problem solving, learning to cook over a fire, building a tent in areas that they don't always get exposed to.
It's not competitive. It really helps develop your son or daughter into a great human being.
This is a great opportunity for your child to get to know the outdoors, and there's so much that outside and nature can provide for our children, and having these experiences is what Scouting is all about.
Lane's Farm and Fleet's Fall Tool Sale is going on now. Shop our unbeatable selection and prices on great brands to help you tackle fall projects. Like over half off 50-foot Yellow Jacket extension cords, just $32.99. This Milwaukee brushless grinder with paddle switch, only $119. Save $15 on 3M Digital WorkTunes hearing protection, $49.99. And shop new fall colors of men's work and sport sweatshirts, starting at $19.99.
Find value at Lane's Farm and Fleet.
Proper installation of your new windows make a difference. The team at Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions are factory trained to make sure your windows are installed to last. Call or stop into the showroom for your free estimate.
You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Whooping cough is on the rise in the U.S., and the CDC says protection from its vaccine is decreasing. So far, there have been around 14,500 reported cases of the disease this year. That's nearly 5 times higher than the number of cases at the same time last year. The vaccine's effectiveness starts to wear off 2 to 3 years after taking it. The FDA's vaccine committee met Friday to discuss whether it might allow a human challenge trial that involves purposely giving people whooping cough to test the effectiveness of a vaccine. Well, very unexpected thunderstorms and heavy rain touched down in La Crosse this evening. Let's send it over to meteorologist Nicole Skalicki to see how long it plans on staying.
Yeah, we got a lot of action today. We haven't really seen it in a while, so it was a little bit refreshing if some of you are a fan of that weather like I am. Thankfully, we didn't have too much in terms of damage, but again, if you have any hail pictures or damage pictures, feel free to send it our way. We can do a lot of good with those kind of reports. Now, we still do have a few thunderstorms out there, mainly south of I-90. We're not really looking at anything too strong or severe with these, mainly just some heavy rain and a couple rumbles of thunder. Those are going to stick around for much of the overnight period. However, they are going to continue to weaken. We will continue to see some pop-up showers, mainly again south of I-90 as we go throughout the weekend. So here we are at midnight, still seeing some showers out there, again, just south of I-90. Everyone else is really staying mostly dry as we go throughout this night, and then even going into early Sunday morning. Still a few sprinkles out there, but they should be moving out of the area as we get into the late morning. Here's our rain forecast for Sunday. Not too much. We could see some spotty areas that could see an additional inch or around that of rainfall on top of what we already saw today. Other than that, very light accumulation amounts. For the rest of the week, we don't really have a lot. We could see, again, just those spots on Sunday morning, but then after that, very, very few chances for rain going into the majority of next week. We do have those slight chances out there because there are going to be multiple waves of energy going through over top of us as we go throughout this week, and they could maybe spring up just a stray shower or two. Other than that, really going to be dry looking into the rest of the week. Really great way to start out the week is our first day of autumn going into Sunday. If we look at this going into the morning, it's going to be a little bit chilly. We're going to have a lot of cloud cover tomorrow, and that's going to keep our temperatures much cooler. Look at that, staying in the low 70s for the afternoon. A lot of us are going to be lucky if we get into the low 70s. Many folks are staying down into the upper 60s, and then as we get into the evening, we're going to see a slight decrease in cloud cover eventually, but it's still going to be a little bit chilly out there. So maybe make sure you wear your long sleeve, especially if you're going out early in the morning. Going to be a little bit cold, and here's our fall color map. Starting to see some sparse areas with a little bit more color up in northeastern Wisconsin. Otherwise, it's slowly taking our time to get down into the more southern areas. Here's our average high for this time of year, staying around this low 70s. We're going to get below that. We haven't really been below average in almost 2 weeks. Our lows are going to stay right around there, though, because we do have that cloud coverage. It's going to keep us a little bit warmer tonight with those clouds kind of re-emitting that warmth back into the atmosphere near us. So it's going to be a little bit warmer again. Not unbearable, though, staying in the mid-50s. And then tomorrow is our massive cool down with that cold front coming through and bringing switching the winds, to be from the north. We're going to feel a lot of that colder air start to enter into the area as we go in tomorrow, and that's going to stick around for the beginning of the week. 2 cools on the forecast. Haven't gotten to put that on there in a while, and then a mild week after that, warming up slightly, getting into the upper 70s, but other than that, it's still pretty fall-like, a little bit above average, but I cannot complain about a full forecast in the 70s.
No, you can't complain either. I wish 60s. That's kind of
we're getting there. We can't go too fast. We
can't rush. We'll get there. It'll be soon enough. Nicole, thank you. Coming up in sports, North Crawford football puts their perfect record on the line. And Winona State is back in action as they hope to stay unbeaten in conference play. Jacob is in next with sports.
News 8 Now Sports is brought to you by Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, with 6 locations of fun.
COVID-19 cases are on the rise. Get the updated COVID-19 vaccine at Hy-Vee. Schedule online today or just stop by any Hy-Vee pharmacy. No appointment necessary. Plus, get your flu shot and earn a 20-cent fuel saver. Only at Hy-Vee.
The liberal elite in Washington are running one of their own here in Wisconsin. A political insider who worked to elect liberals in California, even supported a dark money group focused on defunding the police. Her name, Rebecca Cook, political operative bankrolled by the liberal elite. They handpicked her to help win back the House, trusted to elect liberal heroes like Mandela Barnes. They trust her because Rebecca Cook is one of them.
I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
Ram is built to serve, and you'll find the Ram you're looking for at Pischke Motors in West Salem or Pischke Motors La Crosse.
It's the Ram Power Day sales event. Stop into Pischke Motors now during our clearance on all remaining 2024 Rams, 1500s, 2500, and 3500 HDs. Great prices. Get them before they're gone. With unparalleled durability, towing, hauling, Ram has you covered. Hurry in. This offer ends September 30th.
Start your search at Pischke.com, then drive away in your new Ram.
Welcome to Wesco. Welcome to huge selection and savings. Who loves a good game of Plinko? Wesco and Sparta is making sure your price is right. Come on in and play a game of Plinko to see what your discount is. Discounts up to 30% off in select departments. What discount will you get? Wesco and Sparta, where white glove delivery and setup are always free. Tell them Peyton sent you.
COVID-19 cases are on the rise. Get the updated COVID-19 vaccine at Hy-Vee. Schedule online today or just stop by any Hy-Vee pharmacy. No appointment necessary. Plus, get your flu shot and earn a 20-cent fuel saver. Only at Hy-Vee.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now Sports.
Well, 5th-ranked North Crawford is meeting all challenges head-on so far as they enter Week 4 of the 8-player season with a 3-0 record. The Trojans hosting the Monticello Ponies, and due to weather, this one not able to start on time, but that did not stop Cullen Jacobus from scoring on the first play of the game. Coming up right here, going to the outside, and he will coast in. And on the 2-point conversion attempt, it's Jacobus coming with a catch from quarterback Andrew Munson. That's going to put North Crawford up 8-0 early on. Home side feeling good. Later on, Munson is going to hand it off to Miles Candler. He walks into the end zone untouched to extend the lead. Then Munson is going to set up Candler for another 2-point conversion, putting the Trojans up 16-0. And they would go on to take this one 52-0, keeping their perfect record alive. Up in Winona, the Jim Flynn Invitational Cross Country meet. Let's start with the girls. Winona's Lainey Scholl is the top local finisher, coming across the line with a time of 21:12, good enough for 7th. Winona's Kylie Pollock finishes in 11th, followed by teammate Lauren Heltemus in 12th. Faribault wins the team title. Windhawks finish 4th. Now to the boys. What a showing from the Windhawks senior Leo Loans, winning with a time of 16:47. He is followed by teammates Phineas Van Vossen in 2nd and Kendrick Busek in 3rd. Winona takes the team title. Logan, our second best local team, as they finish 8th. Staying in Winona, Windhawks girls soccer hosting Lake City. Pick action up in the 43rd minute. Winona's Adriana Branningen From 12 yards out, she finds the back of the net. Windhawks lead 3-0. And a minute later, it's Brennigan once again beating the keeper on the right side. Home team goes up by 4. And in the 78th minute, Winona's Alexis Urbick gets by defenders and sends the ball by the keeper. Windhawks lead 5-0. And that is your final as Windhawks make it their 7th straight victory. How about a top 5 matchup? D3 UWL facing D2 Grand Valley State. Good matchup here. Second quarter, Eagles down 7, but putting together a good drive. Zach Weir scrambling to his left. He flips it to Jack Yonke, and he runs for 25 yards before being tackled deep in Laker territory. And not much later, UWL is going to cash in on the impressive march down the field. It's Weir looking across the middle, and that is way too much space for Jack Studer to have. He hauls in the touchdown to make it 7-7. UW La Crosse was hanging tough with one of the best teams in a division higher than them, but here GVSU gets a 1-yard rushing score from Kenneth Jones. The Lakers defense keeps the Eagles out of the end zone for the rest of the game as they win 20-13. More college football action. Winona State hosting Wayne State. We'll pick this one up in the 4th quarter. WSU's Cole Stenstrom hits Caden Holcomb, and check out the juggle and great concentration to make the grab and get into the end zone. Warriors just trail by 7. Same score, 5 minutes to go. Stenstrom checks to James Durst. 15 yards later, the sophomore is in across the line, and we are all tied at 21. But less than 2 minutes later, Wayne State responding quickly. Nick Bone with a high-arcing pass hitting Kendrick Watkins-Hogue in stride. 52 yards for the go-ahead score, and Winona State falls 28-21. And let's check in on the battle for the Floyd of Rosedale. Late first half, game square at 7 apiece when Max Brosmer hits Elijah Spencer, and he hurdles and spins his way into the end zone to make it 14-7 Gophers at half. But from that speech from Coach Ferentz must have been a good one for Iowa because they dominated in the second half. Caleb Johnson takes it 40 yards to the crib to put Iowa back in front. Then coming up, Brendan Sullivan is going to get the call on the QB sneak, and he is in. Hawkeyes outscore Minnesota 24-0 in the second half, and they win back that bronze pig. And the Brewers facing off with Arizona. Another tough one for Milwaukee. Here, Jock Peterson leaves the yard, putting the D-backs up 2. And then in the 5th, Jose Herrera is also going to leave the yard for his first career home run. Make it 3 straight the Crew have lost since clinching the Central back on Wednesday. That'll do it for sports. More news after this.
I want to turn to the issue of abortion.
Donald Trump hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe v. Wade. And now in over 20 states, there are Trump abortion bans. One does not have to abandon their faith or deeply held beliefs to agree. The government, and Donald Trump certainly, should not be telling a woman what to do with her body. I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
There are over 21,000 Wisconsin veterans struggling to pay for rent and utilities.
Thank you for your service.
Many are also facing issues with their mental health.
Thank you for your service.
We must do more to help these heroes who have already sacrificed so much.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service. Words simply aren't enough.
I'm sorry.
Make a difference by donating to this critical Wisconsin survival safety net today.
Air conditioning stopped working? Tired of finding ways to stay cool? Don't sweat it. Give G&T Heating and Air Conditioning a call. They'll have you feeling cool as a cucumber without having to resort to, well, alternative methods.
Call G&T for the best heating and air conditioning guaranteed.
We know Wisconsin workers can get the job done.
But China has been taking our jobs.
For years, our government built America's infrastructure with Chinese iron and steel. I said that's gotta change.
Tammy Baldwin wrote the law to make sure American projects are made with American iron and steel. Now we're getting more work in Wisconsin.
With Wisconsin workers.
Tammy Baldwin stood up to China and our government.
She got the job done.
I'm Tammy Baldwin. I approve this message.
In Washington State, a Tacoma grandmother's home recovering after she broke her leg while hiking alone near Mount Rainier. Thankfully, she was rescued to safety by a group of teenagers, one being a military airman. Drew Mickelson has more on the men she calls her angels.
It takes a hike, but you'll have a hard time finding a better view of Mount Rainier than High Rock Lookout.
Once a year, I try to go up there and bring some flowers to my mother.
The ashes of Ursula Bannister's mother, Hilda, are at the lookout, and Ursula made a solo trek up last month. Shortly after she took this picture,
I stepped in the hole with this foot and I fell down.
She broke her leg in 3 places.
This one has 2 big screws in it, and this one has 9 screws and a plate.
As tragic and traumatic as the hike was,
it seemed like a miracle. It was like angels had descended from the sky.
Shortly after she fell, strangers rallied to help, setting her leg, calling 911.
When they informed me that it was going to be at least 4 or 5 hours out, before they even got to the spot, not including the hike up, I was like, well, if I could carry her down, then it'd be a lot quicker for her and get her out of a little bit of pain. So,
U.S. Air Force Airman First Class Troy May had been at the lookout with his fiancée and a buddy. He ended up putting Ursula on his back, carrying her 1.5 miles down to the parking lot where they drove her to the hospital. His actions were worthy of an Air Force Achievement Medal.
There's many people that could have done it, but it just happened to be in the right time to do it that day.
They tried to keep me engaged so they wouldn't have to listen to me scream.
Ursula thinks her angels, her heroes, prevented her from suffering worse injuries.
Those little piggies are quite swollen.
The broken leg means no hiking or skiing this winter. But for this 79-year-old, the injury has been inspiring.
Really encouraged me about young people and middle-aged people and older people and how good at heart the American people are.
Drew Mickelson.
We'll have one final check of your forecast when we return.
Get the day's news in your inbox. Email newsletters from News 8 Now. Sign up today. Go to news8000.com/newsletters to get started.
Chart your career with a fabricator position at Chart Industries. Starting wage up to $30 per hour with no experience necessary. Excellent pay and awesome benefits. Apply now at jobs.chartindustries.com.
Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners.
Surgery.
For prisoners.
For prisoners. Every transgender inmate in the prison system would have access.
It's hard to believe, but it's true. Even the liberal media was shocked Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners and illegal aliens.
Every transgender inmate would have access.
Kamala's for they, them. President Trump is for you.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Lane's Farm and Fleet's fall tool sale is going on now. Shop our unbeatable selection and prices on great brands to help you tackle fall projects. Like $100 off these DeWalt tool batteries, now just $39. This Milwaukee brushless grinder with paddle switch, only $119. All GE light bulbs are on sale, 20% off. And maintain vehicles and equipment with 14-ounce tubes of Blaine's brand multi-purpose grease, just $189 for rewards members.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Sometimes a celebration means fireworks and loud music. I'll just tell you that I'm celebrating 35 years at the board store, 80 years on the planet, and my daughter Danielle becoming the new general manager of the board store. Let what's personal to me be personal to you with savings on your next home improvement.
Call for a prompt free estimate on windows and doors, on siding or gutters, on a bathroom or a kitchen, on a sunroom or deck.
Better products.
Better people.
Better prices.
The board store, improving your home, improving your life.
We're cranking up the voltage, Wisconsin. Lottery retailers all around the state are lighting up with the latest limited time offer. It's Badger 5, 5 will get you 6. During the month of September, players who buy a $5 or greater Badger 5 ticket will receive a bonus ticket for the next drawing of Badger 5. This electric offer is only available for a limited time and only at Wisconsin lottery retailers.
It's a lot quieter around here than it used to be.
I'm Rebecca Cook. When I was growing up, this farm was bustling. Holsteins, hired hands, harvesting crops. But big corporations put family farms like mine out of business. And what has Derek Van Orden done? Nothing. Tax cuts for big ag, rising healthcare costs, undermining our democracy, extremism. We need real working people in Washington. And that's why I approve this message.
Chart your career with a fabricator position at Chart Industries. Starting wage up to $30 per hour with no experience necessary. Excellent pay and awesome benefits. Apply now at jobs.chartindustries.com.